Okay, let us begin. How is everybody? First thing I saw before I got here, OU University, O and U means water. They made an insignia in the middle of the field. They overlap two circles, leaving two quarter moons, which means there's an I between the quarter moons. My numbers for myself, for my own head, before I say anything, I have to tell you the way I think. There's a chance that because the numbers are so perfect, hold on a second, I'll check my schedule. It's that perfect for me. It's that perfect that Nibiru or anything else that might be coming, maybe something's not coming, and what is coming is whatever they make of it. But if there is coming and there's ships, it's a ship that's out there. It's not a big planet. If God put us here, he'll blow up anything that's coming this way. It's a game. And if it is something coming, it's because they went out to get it. And they're bringing it back and they're going to throw it at us. Like a harpoon, like an old ball, and say, look what happened. This is the year 5775. 25, 3. 2, 3, 5, 3. 2 times 3 is 6, times 5 is 30, is 36, 36, 72. 72, 726. The doghouse and the gateway of 726. 7 times 6 is 42, times 2 is 84. 84 is the Super Bowl. 4 by 8 brings out 44. 4 and 8 is 32, which is IPPI. If I put it here, it's a yud. Do you understand? Do you see this over here? 5772, 2755. This is a 5, but it's a reflection on the other side. So it ends up the wrong date, and they said 5772 when it's 5775. Imagine that. I don't have a phone in the house. So whatever is coming is definitely on some sort of schedule. What I do want to say is I keep coming up with the letters T, Z, and H, and I just did this little piece, and the numbers connect again to 55, to 19. Somebody was talking about the angle of the moon. Well, whatever you do in angles has to come back. They said 29. Well, 29 is 18 and 11. It's the angel resident. It's on that angle so we can connect with the spirit when Jesus went like this and connect to the ear. But which spirit is it? The spirit of the moon. But who runs the moon, the energy of the moon? They say we are made of energy. Our hair stands up. Yeah, it's standing up. Keep it short enough. Okay, so this is what I'm going to try and show you a few things. Okay, first I'm going to show you how 0 works. 20, because at 10, okay, it's 10th. At 20, it's 20th, I-E-T-H. The other one is T-H, so it becomes 10 and 13 at 10. And that's God's world, the 30 of creation. 17 from 20, this is the Queen's H. 3, that she went away from here, you put down here. Now it's creation. You can get number 26. This 3 over here. All the 3s go here. 3, that came from here. 3 that's less than here comes over here. 3, 3, and 3. The 2 3s have to go somewhere. They don't stay here because we're in the 20 world. It makes 6, and 3 is 9. The 10 is the same thing. Minus 3, the 3 goes here. Add 6, it goes here. 36 again. The same thing for 30, the same thing for 40. 50 is a little different because the center creation 30 dart game, when you hit the center dart, it's a hole in the wall. It goes out the other end, so from one side to the other side. Could have kept thinking about it. So they're all 9s. So if they're all 9s, and we start at 10 and 20 and 30 and 40 and 50 and 60 and 70 and 80 and 90, you got 9, 10. 9, 10, 109. 10, 9. It's the house, the 9 card and the 10 card. The 9 card and the 10 card, automatically, the one dot of the 9 goes into the 10. So 9 becomes 10. I mean, the 9 card has a heart dot, so the 10 becomes 11. The 10 has got 2 markings, but they're already made on the 10. You put them in the 9, so the 9 becomes 11. So you have 9, 10, 11, 11. Now, at the same time, when you come into the 10 card, the reason the 10 card is a little bit different, and it only becomes the 7th gate when you add 6 onto 10, making it 16, is because A and I in pool is under 10. It's the one spirit of the 9 birth. The one stick that creates everything, well, God came in with a stick that was bendable, and God's stick has 3 parts in it, like a worm. He can cut it up and turn it. That's why a horse in chess goes 1, 2, and then he goes the other way. and it shows the connections on the telephone, and you take the dice to the telephone and you mark what you see. If you can see and imagine, there's more than one way. 2, 4, 6, and 8 go around 5. You can go through it, but it will create a swastika, or it'll show you a hotel. I've shown it in a video before. Now I want to jump onto something. No, we're going to go to the Aleph now. Here's the Aleph, which is the same replica as the N, but it's on the inside. So wherever you see over here these dots and crosses, all these plus signs, that's where this N goes, on the plus signs. 3, 4, 6, 7, which is the size of the diameter of the moon. And there's more sizes and more diameters of moon, and there's more numbers on here, and they'll tell you where everything goes when you come out and you create skeleton worlds, like this skeleton world, which I still didn't. You see this over here? This is your middle. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the other skeleton worlds, this is the gematria tree. Right over here is 17 and 20, 37. That's where Nibiru is. And then this tree over here, which you see this part over here, this big circle here, 1 square, 2 squares, 3 squares. I need a 4th square. 1, 2, 3, 4 by 4 is 16. This is good, but I'd still like to have another square, because you see, look, half a square, whole square, whole square, whole square, half a square. These little triangles, and now a big tree. So we got done some of this stuff today. Besides 1010 TV. I'm going to put that on the side. Don't get lost in some of the drawings, you know what I'm saying? So anyways, now what we're going to get on to, now that we did that Aleph value is 3973, the 13th world of Nibiru, because that's the number. 3 and 9. And it's not me, it comes out here. Why did I mark it like this? Because in the Aleph, the A, E, and I cross angles 1 and 5 and 9 of E-I-E-I-O, and it gets implicated right in the center. A dice cube goes right here. You have the game, but the game is nothing without 1. When you take 1 cent away, that game is not operable, and man does not connect, because it is the spirit of the soul that when you play fool, the 1 is now yellow, when in the horse racing it was red, where the red goes to the 3 ball, and the 3 and the 11, in which is 9, 11, you have 3 and 11 is 14, and the cross on man's back between 1 and 9 is 10. And the house we're in, with a 1 spirit, the man has his birth as 10, he doesn't have any days old until tomorrow. So you're nothing until tomorrow when you go to bed tonight. So now we had this. At the same time, this Aleph, which was the moon size, and if you take a look, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 2. Why is it 8, 2? Because when you start from here, and this dot is in between number 5 and 6 on your phone, giving it 5.5. Then we go up to this section over here, and we make it 4.5. Is that right? This is the bottom. This one over here is the top. This one here is number 4 over here. Then you have a half space, 3, and then it goes to 2. 4, 3, 2. That's in between the keys, where the empty space is not on the numbers, but in between, which is online, because Aleph is on the line. God is online on the inside. Now, that would probably be us, because we're the small angels. Is that the way you want to look at it? 3973. 28 is the size of the moon, and I just did a piece where I get number 28. Let me see if I can just put it in the hole up here. So we get a piece of it. Let me see. Can I read this? Yes, listen to this before I go on. When Jesus is born on the 319 times 19 is 361. It's a moon cycle. It's 1 plus 360 degrees makes 361. Jesus is born on the 360th day. When he's born on the 25th, by the time he reaches the end of the year of 366 days, there's 6 days left for the 6 days of man that end on the rest of the year. When the 7th day, it'll be the New Year's. It'll be man's first day of a new year. And on the next day, it'll be the first day of his life. That'll be the 8th day. That'll be a Wednesday. And guess what? Next year, in the year of 5775, the new year in a couple of months is on a Wednesday. The day of miracles, the day of M for Mercury. Mercury is number 103. Take away 10 for man with man. Man and Mercury, 93, which is Saturn, plus the Spirit of God's 10, makes it 103. Or a minute and 3 seconds, which is 63 seconds, which is the creation of man. 3 and 6 is 18. 3 and 6, plus 9 is 27. 27 is BG, Beta God, Star of Bethlehem. You ever hear of Jupiter? Why don't we change it? Saturn, instead of Saturn, it'll be Gesson. Gesson. July, August, September, October. Jupiter, instead of Jupiter, we're going to call it Supiter. Why? Because Donald Duck, okay, when he was in Bugs Bunny, he was Superman, and he couldn't say anything good. So you have to see what happens to the J in the comical ways that they mixed up in translation. So we end up with this over here, the Aleph, one of the wings. Now I'm going to try and look on here and what I have on here. Yes, so anyways, so it would be the 6 days of man, then January 1st, January 2nd, January 3rd. January 3rd would be the 9 days of man. The first month, 1 and 3. Then January 4th is the 10 days of man, and it's 14. 4 and January, 1, 4. Somehow one of the letters that shouldn't be in there. Maybe it's the D. On January 5th, it's 1, 5, the egg. January 6th is 6 and 6 is 12. January 9th, 1, 9, 1, 10. The 11th of January, plus the 6th of the year before after Jesus was born, gives you the 17 and the H8. It would be 45 days to Valentine's Day, plus the 6 days after Jesus was born for man 6, equaling to Area 51, in which the Vega card for Area 51 is inside and down below one of the lakes. I must add it to me. I want to be a me ad. Hoover Dam and Herbert Hoover, 88. Oh man, I'm seeing so many 88s, right? So anyways, I just keep mentioning that because, anyways. The other thing I want to say is 34, size of the moon. 67, 82. This says one spirit of 76, time heaven. This is the moon. This is the spirit of 76, the 13 cards where you're connected all together, and here's that one spirit. It mentions it in here, but this is, excuse me, into the 5 and 2 house. This is the house 10, but it's in the 5 of the house. The other house is not there. Okay, it's an expression because it's the spirit of 76. It's in the cards. You understand? This makes your 55. This makes your 19, which makes 74. This makes your 7. 10, 0 equals 7. 747, 28, 28, 1776. It's all created, my friends. All created. So what we're going to do next is we're going to go over to hockey. Anybody getting ready for hockey? I want to show you something about hockey. First of all, we were in the house of Jacob, and the original 6 teams we're talking about are over here. Here's Chicago, here's Detroit, Niagara Falls, Toronto, Montreal, Boston. Can I show it? How come it's, okay, there it is. What? Chicago, Detroit, Toronto, Montreal, Boston, New York. It makes a jack. Chicago won 5 cups out of 12. 7 missing. Detroit won 11 out of 24. 13 missing. Toronto won 21 out of 13. 8 missing because he can't get to heaven. Montreal won 24 out of 34. 34 stands for the one man on the moon. It stands for the creation of man and heaven and everything else. Boston is for the B. And it pokes at one end because 19 is at one end. You need S and S to have 1919, the spirit and soul connecting. They won 6 out of 19. Again, another team with 13. 8 over here. 7, 13, 8, 10. Montreal in the 10 world. 10 and 24 equals 68. Planet X. 1925. 1925. 10. So the total number of Stanley Cups won, 63. And that's the pool game. That's number 15. When you add up to 15. What is the total? 93. 183. Time heaven. Now, how can I explain 183? 1 plus 8 plus 3? No, we're not going to do that. I'm not going there. It ends up being 9 and 3. You have to add 6 here. Automatically, you get 126. You get 9 and 9. And that would be perfect because Jupiter is 99 and both sides have to be equal. Then on this side, out of 36 times that there's a difference between the Stanley Cup, 27 were not won in a single count. Single count, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, okay, just like that. 27 and 36 come together, and again, 63, creation of the angel. 5, 2, 4, 6, 6, 4. I'm not going to do it. I just know there's something in there. Okay, these are the original 6 hockey teams. Look at that, 1893, and I just mentioned it just 2 minutes ago. I don't remember why. Anyways, those are the original 6. And now I'm going to mention you that, wouldn't it be so quaint that the 10 house is a peace house for both sides? And isn't it quaint that number 10 is Guy Lafleur, the flower? And isn't it crazy that on left wing we have Bob Gainey flying up and down? The wingman, the angel. We have Frank Mahovlich, Doug Jarvis, Peter Mahovlich. We have Pierre Bouchard. We have the Big Bird. Now, where would you put the Big Bird? He's number 19. 3 and 4, connecting the 2 places of Earth and Mars. His big arms. Mario Tremblay. He was fighting and keeping his blockers up. Why? Because he's on the cross. Everybody's coming at him in each direction. They turn him this way, they turn him this way. No matter what, he's got to watch his back, which way he turns. Yvonne Cornwallier, the speedster, number 12. Well, of course you need number 12. It's the cycle. Maurice Richard, Jimmy Roberts, John Beliveau, Ken Dryden, 24. Wearing number 29, the moon. And the moon has all its eggs. It's so cuckoo crazy. So we did this, we did that. We did the hockey teams. That wasn't the greatest thing in the world. We didn't do this yet. Why we do this with this, -3, okay, is because they took the penny off the market, which told us that before 5 is 3 and 4. And after 5 is 6 and 7. 5 is in the center. He can go up to one corner or over to number 4. 5 is in the center. He can go to the right. Each one of these are divided amongst the 2 sides, in which 7 and 4 are together 11, and 3 is above 6 and 9. 9 and 5 is 14 on the cross. 5 and 11 is 16 is 7. 7 is the 7th gate. 14 equals 5. 7 equals 7. 7, 7, and 5. The dice, 4 sides say 5, 2 sides say 7. 4 by 5 is 20, and 2 by 7 is 14, and there's your 34. How would you like me to show you? The 1 is here, okay? When you have the 1 there, you get this. It doesn't cover it. They're free. 2 7s are free, okay? 14. This side, okay, and this side, 2 of them are lost. So if you see 7, you only get 5. So 4 sides, you lose 2. You lose 8. What can I say that? These 2 are lost. 2 are lost here. 2 are lost here is 4. And I think there's only 4 lost. 4 and 4 on each dice is 8 lost. That's your heaven. Half is given to him, half is given to him. Don't forget, you got to take heaven out of space. You understand? Heaven is space. You put people in it, it makes it a heaven, because it's a haven where people go. Otherwise, we'll take down everything, take down the hotels. We don't need any of the beaches and sand. We'll all stay home. We don't need a heaven. We don't need a haven. We all have our own home already. So we did this. We're going to jump on to a little piece here where the peace sign is a circle with a 1 with 2 lines in it. And if you take a look at the peace sign, this is a number 2. At the same time, it makes the peace sign. It makes like it's standing up. It's pretty funny when you turn it over, it all seems to disappear, eh? You turn it back over, and oh yeah, it's so small. See, there's that Aleph again. See the way Chinese writing? You have one world on the inside, one world on the outside. You got to, you know, all these things here. We need more and more dots. 6, 1, and 3. This is what God talks about. 1 spirit of 6, the 13, which brings you to the 4. 1 times 3, you know, it makes 76. You know, this makes 19. Here's your 10 worlds. 10 and 23, this is actually of Michael Jordan. 0, 1, 5, 2, 3, 4. Why? Because 0 and 1 is 5. 2, 3, 4 are in the middle. I didn't say that right. No, I didn't explain it right. So I don't like it, so disregard what I just said. This is the letter R. These are the letters R's. Here's a 0, here's a 5. Okay? When you put it this way, it says 70. When you put it this way, it's an R. So it interchanges, and this becomes spirit of 76. And guess what? There's your egg. Man's walking. He's got his egg on his head. He's got his 2 feet, and he's ready to go. He's all boxed in. Now, I'm not sure how interesting it is. I hear myself speak. I know I'm not. I know how interesting it is the way I can hear it. There's another piece here, but at 20 minutes, I think I'm going to add this piece on to the next one. This piece over here that shows you man's number is 55. Since we're into this already, man's number is 55. This goes to here, 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 up to here. This is position 5, here, 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 and to position 5, and it becomes number 1. Why? Because when you come to 5, 5 on 5 is 10. 10 is 0 because you're in the 1 hole. I'm in the 1 hole. I'm 5 and 5 is 10. I'm in the 1 hole. 5 and 1 makes me the 6. 1, 2, 3. 3 and 4 is 7. And 8 is 15. And 7 is 22. And 5 is 27. Plus 1 is 8 is 28. You're on the moon. The other thing I wanted to mention about this, you see the way there's this home plate here and there's a home plate here? When you go to the roulette table, around the 8, 11, 13, and 10, 17, and 15 makes this. And then again down by somewhere near 24 and 26 and 28, 31, right around there, that makes the other one. I just want to turn around and take a look at something. Yes. So we make this. Now take a look. 7. See the 7? I just made a line across. But here's the 7. Here's 5, 5, and here's the 7. 7, 5, 5, 7. 1776. 1 and 6 is 7. 7 and 7 is 14. 1 and 4 is 5. 7 and 7 is 14. 1 and 4 is 5. 1 and 6 is 7. All the same thing all next year. When you write it out, 7, 5, 5, 7, you have the X here. I'm not quite sure what I want to put here, but if you take a look, it looks like a wrench. It also looks like a V. So it would actually maybe be XVX, which would be 15 and then 25. Unless this circle, the square is not big enough, I have to redesign this. But as you can see, the numbers come out again. When you mark down 1 times 6 becomes 13, becomes 4. 6 times 6 is 36, and 12 is 48. 4 and 8 is 12. 1 and 2 is 3. Earth, Mars, number 19, man on the moon, 75, 57, and everything lines up. These are what I'm trying to tell you where the moon is. This is the moon. These are the moons. Okay? This fits right on this line in between here. And then it gets new numbers, each one of them. And it's 3467, surrounded by 1, 2, 4, 5, surrounded by 2, 3, 7, 8, surrounded by 4, 5, 4, 5, 7, 8, 2, 3, 5, 6, and 5, 6, 8, 9. So this is a star system within a star. It's online. There's online and there's in between online. That's why you have to make it so much bigger before you can figure it out. And this is what 55 is about. Here's your 10 card, 5 and 5. You get a 10 card, he gets a 10 cards, 5 and 5, 5 and 5. Now you got 20. At the same time, I wanted to show you, not to forget, because we've done it before, 7 times 6 is 42, 6 and 8. The man with the cat, the man in the hat. 13 is 55. This ends up to make 4 at the end. 1 plus 3 is 4. This makes 6. 4 and 6 is 10 equals 7. That would be 755. Value of x is 10, and 7 is 17. 17 is 34. If you want to count what the center is actually worth at 6, it makes 40. Then 40 makes 46. 4 by 6 is 24, and ends up making 6 and 8, which is the cat house. 6 and 8 is 14. You're back on the cross, and the payout in the dice I'm making that is 7 to 6. Again, back to 55, and that's why we had the 55 speed limit. Now this entraps. What this is goes in here. What this is goes in here. It goes in here. I don't have it down right now. Okay, I just can't write over everything. So anyways, we're going to leave it at this. I got a few more things to do. Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. Who do you think we are? Thank you for watching. What's Real?